No, tell Bobby he can't have my number. Wait, what? We're live? Oh, hi strangers. I am Symolè, new recruit and anime lover. To be honest, I'm kinda new to anime. And with so much free time on my hands, thanks to 2020 being so crazy, what better way to spend it than being locked away in a dark room watching anime all day? I've watched every single episode of One Piece. Please help. So, I love snacks. I mean, who doesn't, right? And apart from snacking, a cold drink always hits the spot. Boy, this snack talk is making me hungry already. I'm sure you've all heard of Blue Apron by now.
Symolè? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to get you guys a sponsor. Have you heard about Blue Apron? I think they'd be great in a time like this.
Wait, I have to cook the food myself?
Blue Apron, please sponsor us. Phew. So anyways, guys, Slow recommended I watch this very interesting anime called Gleipnir. But Slow is kinda weird and perverted.
Hey!
I see what you be watching. So, I had to research this anime before I gave it a watch.
Bruh.
Typical. Episode 1 starts off with a prelude in first-person view. Something seemed a bit off. A glitchy, shadowy figure moving frantically across a field, then picking up a coin and taking it to a vending machine. Well, further along, we will discover who this shadow figure is and who the heck is the vending machine guy. The episode continues at a school, where we are introduced to Tsuishi Kagaya. He seemed to be getting recommendations for college. Pretty smart guy, based on the words of his academic advisor. But like most teens, had no idea what he wanted to do and was indecisive. Kagaya told his friends he didn't get the recommendation, but I have a feeling that's not exactly what happened. I mean, he seems like a smart guy, and it's not just the glasses. Other classmates called him Professor Kagaya and even borrowed his notes. In fact, Kagaya was relieved at the thought of not getting recommendations, saying being normal is best and he didn't need to be himself, as if trying to avoid it. While on his way to gym class, Kagaya caught whiff of a dead animal and seemed a bit bothered by it. There's a brief transition to a schoolgirl whose face we can't quite see, in what seems to be an old warehouse. She's making a call on her phone, but it doesn't connect as she looks up at a window with a gasoline container beside her. As soon as I started to ponder the relevancy of that scene, we're transitioned back to the classroom with Kagaya lost in thought about the dead animal he had seen, which was actually a tanuki. That's a Japanese raccoon dog for those who don't know. Well, actually, I didn't know either. I had to look it up, and they're pretty cute. Look! Huh? Oh, right. Kagaya was blankly staring while lost in thought, not realizing that Isumi was sitting right in front of him like...
Did Kagaya deserve that hit though?
Slow, what are you doing here?
Oh, I just thought you could use some company, you know. We got some great scenes coming up.
Right. So anyways, Kagaya was cleaning up the class after school when Mifune, Kagaya's classmate, came in the room excited to tell him that she had gotten the recommendation for college. Mifune points out that Kagaya was the one that should have gotten the recommendation, and it seems she only got it because Kagaya had passed on the opportunity. But Kagaya is a good sport and encourages Mifune that she got the recommendation because of her own abilities. That's when Mifune notices mud on Kagaya's pants, and we see that he had buried the tanuki from earlier.
Later that night, Kagaya was restless and had some trouble falling asleep. So he went out for a night stroll, and that's when we find that he doesn't need glasses and his senses are pretty sharp, as he was able to pick up on a scent of a distant fire.
Well, he did say it was close by, but judging from the distance shown in this shot, it didn't seem that close to me. Kagaya rushed to the fire, and it's the same old warehouse shown previously with the mystery girl now on fire. Based on what was shown in the earlier shot, with the girl standing next to a pan of gasoline, I am going to assume that she started the fire. As Kagaya took out his cell phone to call the police, once again, we see his enhanced senses in action as he caught the scent of someone in the fire.
And it was none other than our smoking hot mystery girl. Get it? Smoking hot? Because the warehouse is on fire and she's in the warehouse?
That's the joke.
You suck!
Sigh. Yes, Lou. I get it.
I bet she smelled like barbecue damsel in distress.
Right. So, Kagaya hesitated, saying there was a beast inside of him, and he started to transform as he walked forward. He grew fangs. Fur engulfed his body. His eyes got massive. He transformed into a
Stuffed animal?
Aww. He's so cute and clumsy. You know, he does kind of look like a tanuki.
This strange form explains the heightened senses and apparently grants super strength as he punched through a brick wall, rescuing our mystery girl. And apparently, Kagaya also thinks she smelled like barbecue damsel in distress because...
You are the worst. It seems Kagaya's instincts were overpowering him while in his beast form. He quickly realized what he was doing, reverted to his human form, and fled the scene. In the morning, as the fire was reported on the news, Kagaya realized that his phone was missing. Walking to school, he worried about it, until at his locker, once again he caught a familiar scent.
It was our mystery girl, and she had his phone, but instead of thanking her rescuer, she was blackmailing him. Apparently, she was conscious and saw Kagaya's monster form, and held his phone hostage until he answered her questions. Kagaya stalked her all day and even sniffed around in her locker, but she kept the phone close at all times.
Kagaya finally tracked her to the school's roof, where he tried to play coy, saying he had no idea what she meant by monster.
But Mystery Girl wasn't having it. She placed the phone on a ledge, and when Kagaya went to get it, she kicked him off the roof. Kagaya had to transform to break his fall. But I mean, what if he didn't? Or what if it didn't work? She would have literally just murdered someone. This girl is crazy.
Awesome!
Huh? What?
She's awesome! She knew exactly how to get what she wanted from him, and even took a picture of Kagaya, so now she had evidence of his monster form.
So you're just blatantly supporting manipulation and blackmailing?
And you're just gonna ignore the fact that Kagaya had sexually assaulted this girl when she was unconscious?
Touché.
Kagaya leapt back to the roof in his monster form, where he was reminded that he was in plain sight, and they both disappeared indoors. But it seemed Mifune had glimpsed them on the roof, but wasn't sure what she had seen.
At the top of the staircase, our mystery girl was blackmailing, manipulating, and now seducing Kagaya to get information out of him. I'm not sure who the real monster is here.
But Kagaya really had no idea where he got his powers from, and reluctantly she had to accept this. But she wasn't done with him yet.
After school, Barbecue Damsel in Distress introduced herself properly. Claire Aoki. She was 2 years younger than Kagaya. She pulled out a coin and said it had something to do with the monsters, but seemed disappointed when Kagaya had no idea what it was.
I'd just like to point out that this was the same coin seen in the beginning used at the vending machine. Claire dragged Kagaya to her apartment. which was very luxurious for a high school student. But Claire, really? We gotta talk about those dishes, girl.
Claire literally started stripping her clothes and changed right in front of Kagaya. That lucky, poor guy being manipulated like that. She even said he was under her control.
Kagaya tried to retaliate by saying he saved Claire. But just as I suspected earlier, she admitted that it was a suicide attempt.
Mistress of manipulation she is, Claire is already twisting this to her advantage as she pressed herself against Kagaya, asking for his help, saying no one believed her about the monsters.
A masked intruder breaks in and attacks Kagaya, then went straight for Claire, demanding the coin. Pulling out a dagger, she explains that the coin can grant power, but in exchange, you lose everything.
That doesn't really sound like a good trade if you ask me. Kagaya transforms and subdues the intruder as Claire pulls off her mask and begins to question her.
The intruder dropped her dagger, calling Kagaya and Claire gatherers. Her arms and legs turned into muscular claws. She freed herself from Kagaya's grasp and kicked him away, revealing a bit too much. Seriously, this show has way too much panty shots.
Too much pant? What? Listen, Symolè, I understand you're new to anime. That's called Ecchi, and it's art.
Right. Yeah, so that was episode 1 of Gleipnir. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. All our links are in the description. And you're a perv, you know that?